Hey, buddy. Eyes up here. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Hero Speak podcast. We are back, and it's us, the JLA. No, what was it? What was it? The JLG.
Justice Gang.
Justice
Gang. JG. James Gunn.
Us.
JG.
The James. Oh my God, I didn't even get it. The JG. The James Gunn Justice Gang. Back to talk Superman 2025. Written by and directed by James Gunn. Who else?
I think it was just James Gunn.
Just figure everything's James Gunn. Just put his name on it all. Don't worry about it, guys. If you also worked on this movie, congratulations. But your name is now James Gunn. That's all. That's what it is. You are related to James Gunn. Maybe you're his wife,
brother, wife,
right? His dog.
His dog. Jesus. All right.
That's okay. It worked. Somehow worked again. Damn it. How does he keep getting away with this?
It's like the Trumps. But anyway, we digress. We digress.
Woo, that's a rough one. All right. So, before we get started, Mike, James, how are you guys? It's been a little bit.
Well, I'm trying to get out of floods here. I feel like the apocalypse is happening every other day here in the Northeast Jersey.
Don't worry, the Trump administration just decided not to mention climate change anymore with the EPA and all those agencies.
So is that like during COVID when if you didn't test, the numbers would go down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just don't test.
Just don't test. Everything's fine.
Don't test. It'll be fixed.
If you don't test, remember, there are no cases.
Don't ask, don't tell. That's okay. Right. We're good. We're going back. All right, so... we are talking Superman. Now, we're not going to do scene to scene. We're not going to do any of that stuff. It's been...
Actually, in line 47.
That's right. Script page to script page. Here we come.
Chris and I can do one another day if you want.
That's right.
Oh, Jesus.
So, what we're going to start with is I had some main worries going into this movie. And we're going to address those first, because really I want to congratulate James Gunn and all the James Gunns that worked with James Gunn on this movie on proving me wrong once again, which is very easy to do. My wife does it every day, but James Gunn can do it too. He can participate in this. All right, so we'll start here. I'm going to start right off with Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult. I had no faith in this character. I'm sorry, Nicholas. I liked you in a lot of other roles. I did not see this coming. So you guys tell me, what did you expect and what did you think of Nicholas Hoult's Lex Luthor, the antagonist for this movie?
Go ahead, Mike. You go first. Go to first chat.
Actually, I'd like to thank Zack Snyder first for...
and don't forget David Zaslav.
That's right. So
who tried to sell this for tax write-off?
So yes, I'll agree with Chris. Going in not with the best expectations, high expectations rather, but honestly, after the Eisenberg Luthor, which I hated that portrayal of Lex Luthor.
The worst rendition, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I was like, anything's got to be better, and he nailed it though. He did it. He did a great job. He brought that character. I would say maybe the only one better would be Smallville's Lex.
And you have definitely...
the only one?
No,
I see. Rolling in his grave.
What?
Gene Hackman is rolling in his grave.
Of course, you got to give credit to Hackman. Of course.
Two. At least two.
Yes.
It's interesting. There are like three very different interpretations for the character between those three. Much like when we get our better Jokers, they all seem to have slight, if not major, differences between them.
And honestly, Kevin Spacey's Luthor wasn't that bad either in Superman Returns. It wasn't compared to Snyder's Lex, man. You got to...
Yes, I agree. Okay, come on. That's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, so, I mean, Spacey did he's a good actor. He's a terrible human being,
Mhm.
but I think he did what he could with that character, and I think Nick
With
and
that
I think
script, yeah.
yeah, I think James Gunn wrote this character way better than you know
Mhm.
recent years. So
All right, James.
Um, the Lex Luthor character, I think, for me, you raised a good point, Chris, when you're talking about how there's only like three versions that you've seen of his character. Take away the live movies, you take away the TV shows,
The
you're really
animated
left with the
shows.
animated
Yeah.
world, which I think is probably the best version of
The
Lex
Harley
Luthor.
Quinn one.
No, no, the
He's
Justice
fun.
League
He's fun. No,
movies and
it's
those
okay.
versions, the Superman, the animated adventures. I think that version where he's a brooding guy, maybe similar to Kingpin, but he's a really really smart and a guy with charisma, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So that being said, I didn't know what I was gonna get with Nicholas Holt because I've only known him in the Star Trek movies. I think like you guys covered it. Um, I mean physically it didn't matter to me because they threw everybody at us, right? Spacey, Hackman, the gentleman from Smallville, I forgot his name, who's now a very popular podcaster, and who was before that? Eisenberg. Oh no,
don't forget,
yeah,
Superman and Lois had that Lex I did not like from the beginning,
yeah. You
Oh
and
but he
I
kind of
agree.
grew on
Yeah,
me at
yeah.
the
From
end. Yeah.
Walking Dead, he
God,
grew on me because
he's
the
from the
writing
movies.
and
Yep.
the acting.
Yep.
It was the writing and the acting. It
Yep.
wasn't so much the actor and his physical traits. Well, I
Mhm.
know I'm getting a little, but yeah. So I didn't have any sort of expectations with Nicholas Holt in casting this role.
Yeah, his hate just exuded from from that character, and
Oh,
it.
we're talking about actually seeing the character too. Oh, my
Yeah.
bad.
Nicholas Holt.
Oh, let me just finish my,
Yeah,
my,
go
my
ahead.
point because you're getting into it. Like, okay, I didn't know what I was supposed to expect. I had these three different versions of Lex in my head. Boom. This version to me, I think, is another offshoot, or better yet, an amalgamation of the last Lex Luthor along with not Jack Miller, Gene Hackman,
Mm.
where it was like he was thinking about this whole real estate because Superman 2 or 3, I forgot which one it was. That was another plot story, right? They're gonna break off California to New Luther, California, make crazy money, and I'm like, okay, I can see this part of this actor in there, but then I think also with the last one in Batman v Superman, I think the fact that he was just so much animus towards Superman on like two or three premises. He's an alien. He's got ultra powerful. He doesn't buy to any government. Whatever.
Hmm.
I think it was a weirder, and I know you're gonna laugh at this. He wasn't that bad of a Lex in the context of the movie, which is my real issue. Like it wasn't like he was acting on another like he was a Christian Bale in Thor: Love and Ragnarok. Like definitely is a different movie. No, I think in the spirit of this particular movie universe, he actually wasn't a bad Lex. My issue wasn't like whether he over the top or he underperformed or his version just seemed not smart or not dumb. It was just and what we got. I thought it was okay. So I'm mid with this portrayal of Lex.
Okay, so yeah, the Jesse Eisenberg thing to me felt like
That's why I keep forgetting his name. Iceberg.
he was like Lex Luthor, but what if he's very creepy and just like weird dude? Like that's the direction he went, and I don't think it worked. It didn't feel like he's a threat. He just felt like, he might touch you and you might not want him to. Like that's what I got from Jesse Eisenberg.
I think we're all gonna say, yeah, he was the worst. Yeah,
Whereas
he's
there's
worse than the Harley Quinn version.
Yeah, he's the Me Too version of Lex Luthor.
right.
God damn, dude.
but but yeah, this was all hate all the time, and I liked it. I don't know why it worked for me. Um, maybe the weirdness with the girlfriends in the glass prison was, mm, you know,
It
but
kind of worked in the movie though.
it did kind
They
of
gave
work
us
in the
this
movie.
pocket.
But yeah,
Come on, we can't really push.
it really sets him up as somebody he attracts people, but he is extremely bitter, and he's
He's
petty
pretty. Yeah.
He's got
for
a Napoleon
right,
complex
for all
on
of his
steroids.
intelligence and charisma. He's got this really horrible general personality. Um, you know, and it worked. It worked really well in this setting. So
So But the great part, I think, about that, this portrayal of Lex, was even though no matter how angry or how much he wanted to get Superman, that scene where Superman was looking for his dog and busted into the office, and then Lex was just getting under his skin, all calm,
And he
and
loves
I
that.
thought that was great.
I think because that's
Yeah,
what he
but
wants to see out of Superman. That's what he
Mike,
wants. He
Mm-hmm.
Mike,
Whereas everybody else sees the happy-go-lucky nice guy, and Lex that gets Lex mad. Superman being mad means he's looking like Lex wants him to, and so
Right.
that makes Lex happy. So that's what I got out of that one.
but going back to Mike's point real quick, the Lex that we probably like the second least, the one from Superman and Lois,
Mm-hmm.
he had that exact same scene, but it was one of his boys. Do you remember when
Yeah.
we rushed into the barn or the office building and he's about to kill him? Like first time this Clark Superman character looked like he had the dread in his eyes, and he played it the same calm thing too. He wanted him to outleash himself.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to use his power, even if that meant the demise of him. That to me was done much better in a lower budget show than this particular Lex. And then we're gonna get to the negatives. Right now, I've been kind of
Yeah.
defending him. At some
Mm-hmm.
point, I'm gonna attack him too with the movie.
Yeah.
Um, but that's a nice thing that I guess the writers who wrote this probably saw it from the show and said, "Oh, this is a great little story beat that we can write into a particular
I
scene."
don't know. It's hard when these things are being written years before. It's hard to know like
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, my
timing
bad.
wise,
Yeah,
but it it does fit. So in both I can see it in both cuz I didn't see the Superman and Lois scene. But it's kind of that when a villain gets under a superhero skin and gets him mad a lot of times, they they actually calm down. The villain doesn't get bigger than the superhero. He actually like haha, I won. Gets that kind of mood. All right.
yeah.
The second thing, I was worried about the Superman versus Clark Kent. Uh, it's it's hard. We have a perfect version of that. Literally, the first version is the perfect version. We've all seen clips. We've all watched the movies of Christopher Reeve, and he just has this weird, uncanny ability to create two completely different characters out of the character. And how do you think? Um, what the hell's his name? Shit, I lost
David
it.
Corn Sweat.
Yes,
That's right. Yeah.
David Cornsweet. Um, how do you think he did at separating those? There wasn't a lot of time for him to be the separate. We got probably the best version you could say was my favorite scene of the movie, which is the Lois and Clark, Lois and Superman interview scene. But that is him being much more Superman than it is him being trying to separate Superman and Clark. So even that's not really a great example.
Yeah, I think a better example is when he walks into the office in the morning and
Mm-hmm.
the one guy's insulting him and he's saying hi to everybody. He's tripping over himself. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did a good job with it overall. So,
Yeah, nothing stuck out to me as bad. But it just
yeah.
wasn't a lot to get onto. Because he wasn't trying to fool Lois. He wasn't trying to fool his family. Nobody
Hmm.
was really questioning him, about it. He wasn't getting in any like we've seen a couple of Supermans where he gets in those situations where he has to switch quickly between I accidentally did a Superman thing as Clark. So he didn't have to do any of that. So
Hmm.
James, did you have
Oh,
any?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's kind of an unfair point because other than Christopher Reeve, I don't think we've ever gotten a perfect rendition of the dichotomy between the Clark Kent figure, character trope, and then the Superman, the real person, Kal-El. Even the TV shows, I don't think none of them, not even Smallville, none of them ever really hit the mark. But what I am gonna say with this particular rendition, I thought it tried, like you guys mentioned both scenes, the interview with Lois, and then the first scene when he's coming into the Daily Planet. I would actually present the in the third arc that final scene when he's like kind of bearing it all out to Lex, because at that moment I can't tell the difference between Superman or the Clark Kent because his speech talks about his power, But
Mm.
it talks about just waking up in the morning, putting one pants at a time. Like all of a sudden, it's like it's a blended. Like the scene from oh shit, the best scene from Obi-Wan, probably the only one when Anakin's mask is torn off and it's going
Right.
between Anakin and Vader, and then I thought that no, I'm not comparing this scene to that, but it
You
came to
did
mind
not
because
create me.
because instead of anger, out of frustration and in despair, you see him Clark Kent, Superman, Clark Kent, Superman. So I mean, I think in general, I think it's an unfair thing to try to see whether he lives up to the chops of Christopher Reeve. I don't think anyone has yet.
Right.
I don't think it needs to be issue moving forward for Superman. But I did like that moment in that third act where you kind of see the blending of the two and what's core to either character. I did like that. And
Yeah.
obviously, it outperformed whatever we had in the Zack
Yes.
Snyder's verse. And
Yes.
Brandon Routh never really had the same type of script to do this. So, yeah, it's really Christopher Reeve in the house.
All right. And then the gun tone, very specific worry. I I don't know if I put it out there on blast if we've talked about this before.
You
Um,
have.
James Gunn has a specific tone that he likes. It's he wears it on his sleeve. He puts it in everything. He there are certain things about his movies and they tend to work. But so far, we've seen him in like Creature Commandos and Guardians of the Galaxy, and these are characters that are meant to be off kilter and a little bit weird, and you know, secondary, but make them main characters and found family and the whole shebang. This is Superman. This is the main guy. This is a guy with a very specific view of the world. How is he going to come out and tell a fart joke? Is he going to, you know, what's he going to do in the James Gunn style? And uh, I shouldn't have questioned it. I shouldn't have questioned it. He was more Superman than I've seen since the cartoon, right? He was purity, he was grace, he was all the stuff I wanted, and he let Gunn let all the people around him do the thing. Specifically, he was able to put in Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl and Morpho. What the fuck's his name?
Metallo?
No,
No,
no, not Metallo.
no,
Metamorpho.
Morpho.
Metamorpho.
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 That's
Yeah.
right.
What did I say, Metallo? Later.
Right.
Metamorpho.
Mofo.
To give him that outlet of the weird and the fun and stuff like that, and Superman can still have fun, but there's very specific things that he didn't have Superman do that I was worried he would do.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. He left Superman alone. He knew this is iconic. He let Nathan Fillion bring the comedy when it was needed.
Mm-hmm.
So at some parts, it was a little too much as well. That's my only gripe with Gunn. Sometimes he doesn't know, but that's been a Marvel problem as well. I think in the past, where especially with Thor 4, they the comedy just didn't stop even when it was time
You
for it to
can't
stop.
blame James Gunn.
I'm
Yeah,
not
James Gunn
blaming
was the
Gunn for that.
forefather. He's a
But
forefather of that. But
yeah, but he has that issue sometimes too. It wasn't prevalent in this movie, so I'll give him that. Like I said, Nathan brought it. Um, Metamorpho. By the way, James, the guy who played Metamorpho, right? The bald guy
it's
from
the dude from
Barry.
Barry. Yeah, I
Yeah,
looked it up before this
yeah.
podcast. Yeah.
So I like him. He's pretty good. So yeah.
And he
I
also
got-
played a Batman villain in the TV show Gotham.
oh,
Victor
Yeah,
okay.
Zsasz.
Mm.
Yeah.
I thought was he that same character in the Harley Quinn movie?
No, he
Zaz,
wasn't.
Zaz something.
That was what's his name?
Oh
Not
no,
Obi
that
Wan.
was the main guy. Okay,
That was Obi Wan. Yeah.
yeah, that was okay. I'm thinking
Oh,
of
Ewan,
something
yeah.
else.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Gotham movie, or the TV show,
Birds of Prey. I think we're
Birds
thinking
of
of.
Prey.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, James.
The tone. I actually thought this tone. We were talking about tone. In my mind, I'm thinking like the setting of the movie, some of the visuals, the color palettes and stuff, the music, um, building this world right without the characters in general. And I think the overall setup, the The tone was good. It's close to James Gunn's, what we've seen James Gunn do so far. It's close to that. And I think it was nice for this particular character to start in the MCU, the DCU, Superman, to be more hopeful or more light. And you're right, it does seem like it's copying a little bit of the animated studios. But let's be honest, DC's animation was really rocking,
Yep.
beat Marvel, and their live action is what's sucking. So if you're gonna borrow from some of the animation concepts, this was a great thing to do. Tone. My only issue with when we talk about tone, I said music was it's getting tiresome. It got tiresome by the time we got
his
to
pop
Guardians
music
3.
choices, yeah.
The needle drops, right?
Yeah.
At it was cool in the first two Guardian movies. Got played out in Guardians 3. It was even played out in that special, but I guess it was a Christmas special, whatever, it
Right.
didn't matter.
Yeah.
And he replicated that in this movie too, and it was
Which is funny
annoying.
because I loved the opening theme.
The score is
The
great.
score with the almost Top Gun-ish, that feeling I get whenever I watch
Mm-hmm.
the opening of Top
Yeah,
Gun.
that's the main score theme. But then if you listen to like if it was like an album, a soundtrack album, all these needle drops at different moments, and I'm like, oh my god, here it comes. Oh my god,
Yeah, the
this.
slow motion needle drop fight scene is obviously didn't replicate Guardians 3, but it that exact same feeling
Yeah,
and the exact same, like, okay, we have seen this, but this is what I'm saying, like, he has his way of doing things, and he did manage to
perfect.
hold back for Superman himself and Lois. I think Lois was very much Lois, and she wasn't a a, a weird
You
version
want to be
of.
honest? Unlike Zack Snyder and some of the previous DC writers, James Gunn knows how to write strong female characters, comic book
Mm-hmm.
characters, pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty well. Nebula, even Mantis. So it
Nebula is
was
like
he
one
was
of the best like MCU
yes. You
character
know where I feel
arcs
about Nebula.
in
I'm
the
Team
entire
Nebula since day
MCU.
one. Um,
Ratcatcher 2.
Right.
Yes. So
Yes.
it's I wasn't at all afraid of Lois's character,
Hmm.
especially when I knew who the actress was going to be. So if in fact, if you're not going to say Mr. Terrific stole the movie, which is a little bit harsh, I'd say Lois really stole the movie.
Let's go right into that. I Clark and Lois is a very important relationship in all of DC. There are several of these types of romances, classic romances throughout comic books, and this is one of them. And my favorite, I mentioned before, my favorite scene of the movie actually just built these two characters' foundation very well in a very interesting scene that built the world, built the characters, and built their connection. Because it was before they were dating but not in love. Well, at least Lois wasn't in love. And you could see her switch from girlfriend mode to reporter mode. And I love that about it. Wasn't so in love with all the questions. It felt a little, centrist dem to me. But whatever. It's the universe.
CNN. Yeah.
Yeah, a little CNN-ish. Um,
NBC.
but Superman himself, Clark's reaction to it and his, hey, how come everybody isn't seeing how precious this life is like I am? So I love that scene, and I love Lois and Clark relationship and the building of those two characters. I gotta get water. You guys talk about this. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So just to add on to Lois's character, I thought it was nice that they established her as just getting to know um, uh, Clark on a not deep personal level. Obviously, she knows his secret hero identity, so that's interesting. But then, like, they're not really in a full blown relationship, right? They're kind of hooking up, seeing each other, blah blah, as adults tend to do of legal age. So it was cool that they set up this version of Lois, who I guess hasn't won her Pulitzer Prize yet, but is a very worldly known reporter. Um, and then you get that hard hitting interview. That's when you realize, oh, this is not from Lois to Lois and Clark. Um, it's not even Lois, who I love from Superman and Lois, who Mike, I love probably
Yeah.
second Lois.
Yeah.
Um, it was a nice sense of strength, but also understanding what Clark's dilemma is, and he was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like advocating with and against him at the same time.
Yeah.
That shout out to the writing by James Gunn, but also a shout out to yeah, I forgot her name too. From Matt Marvelous.
Miss
Anyway,
Marvel.
yes. The Lois Lane character, the actress. I think she
Oh,
actually knocked it out the park, and then she did every version of her scene like I would expect Lois to be in this contemporary movie, but not outdated, right? She's not like, oh, whatever you think, Clark, or whatever. And she's still fighting against Perry White here and there, and she's a boss, type of reporter.
but
So
she also
Rachel
didn't punch anybody in
Brosnahan,
the
by the way.
face.
thank you, Rachel Brosnahan. I thought she was probably the best character, the most well written character in the movie would be her character.
Oh,
Yeah, I
interesting.
mean, you could see during that interview scene, she was like, Clark, I get what you're saying, and I'm on your side, but this is what people are going to ask you. So I got to play devil's advocate here and
Right.
ask, you know, I'm telling you what they're going to ask. So don't get mad at me about it. Just understand my point of view as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. It's like your lawyer giving you the cross
Yeah.
examination that he expects you to get,
because it's
and
supposed to be a
you
prep
going
for the.
like, "What the
Remember, it's
hell are you
supposed to be a
doing?"
prep. Chris, remember, it's supposed to be a prep for an actual interview. So this is how it's gonna be. Boom. So that's perfect. Perfect
Also,
analogy, right?
one thing I love though is she had all those questions locked and loaded. She's been testing this in her head. She's been dying to do this,
and
and she was like,
She was
"Let's
Batman with
go."
prep against them.
She was Batman with prep time.
Against them.
I love at the beginning how she was giving him crap when he was like, "Oh, I got an interview with Superman. Oh, how convenient."
You're gonna interview
Another
yourself.
one? Well, isn't that special?
It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
No, that was
Anyway,
good.
we digress again.
Okay,
So
Mon
Lois,
Okay,
what do
wait,
you
no,
think
Laden.
no,
about
no,
Lois?
stop. Before we go anywhere,
Break.
are you on my side now, Chris, with the Green Lanterns?
Fuck the Green Lanterns, man. They suck.
No, so close. I
Wait,
almost
I didn't
had
know you
you.
guys. I didn't know you guys were battling over that.
He doesn't like the Green Lanterns. I like the
I don't like
Lantern
Green
Corps.
Lan- I don't like the Green
Did
Lanterns.
you watch any animated movies with the Green Lantern Corps?
Those are
I
They
know you
always
didn't
great.
read
get
the
their
comics.
ass kicked. They
No,
always
those are
come
great.
down and get their
No,
ass kicked.
he's got to
Like,
read Darkest Night. I think it's called.
Mm,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
The
yeah,
yeah.
crisis for
is
the.
that the zombie one, or is that the one where he takes
No,
all
it's
the
not the zombie
rings?
one. It's all rings and it's a big civil war.
I don't know.
Anyway,
No,
yeah.
I have not.
If he doesn't like
I'll,
it, he does. He's
I'll
not
be
gonna switch
honest. I
over.
have not read any Green Lantern comics. 100%. I have not stopped and read a Green Lantern comic. This is all based 100% on animated and movie.
I don't think your
Output.
animated benchmark was high enough. Like you
I
probably
think
need to
it's
see
some
I mean,
good
more.
John
Lantern
Stewart was
animation.
cool enough, but like they're like, I'm gonna make a jet. I'm gonna make a big hammer. Like, oh my god, you guys are so
You don't like
creative.
the power set. That's what it is. You like
But you
people who
gotta
don't like the
keep.
Flash because he's just fast.
But I like
He's.
that Guy
I don't like
Gardner
the
in this.
fact that the Flash does the same thing. Like he's a reset button for DC, and it's boring.
Yeah, but see, in this one, I like that Guy brought it with his constructs. With the when flipping over the tanks, he wasn't even thinking about it. He just went,
Right.
whoop.
Guy's haircut is on my petty grievances list.
Okay, so Chris, I don't know your agenda, but let's cover it by the side characters, right? The Justice Gang and Lex's
We
villains.
can do that. That's fine. We can
Yeah.
do the Justice
So
Gang.
perfect. I think Guy Gardner's version of which I am familiar with, but not a fan of. I thought he did a great job. Nathan Fillion did a great job. It was
Yeah.
interesting the way he used his power and the way he carried the old grungy Wizen. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm confident. Don't question me. Blah blah blah. And it's like almost like a walk in the park for him, right? Mr. Terrific, who I could argue against Lois Lane, was the MVP of this movie.
Mm.
From an actor who some of us know that was an outcast from an X-Men movie. Like he was
Darwin.
for an immortal character. It's like Immortal and Invincible getting killed. It
Yeah.
was like that in the very first 5 minutes, and he hasn't really gotten any roles in Hollywood. I know he did a movie, Death Sentence, with Kevin Bacon, one of my favorite dark noir movies, but that was it until this. He came back on the scene and took a character who, unless you
Darwin.
watch the
That was his name.
CW
Darwin.
Arrowverse shows, yeah, unless you're watching the Arrowverse shows, no one knew who Mr. Terrific really was.
Mhm.
It's like Rocket and freaking
Yeah.
and
He's
Guardians
like
of the Galaxy.
His
Yeah.
his costume is another one of my petty grievances.
So again, shout out to James Gunn. He does what he does best. He take unheard of C-list characters and make something about them really intriguing
Right.
and relatable. And then lastly, Hawk Girl, boo,
She
trash.
just didn't. I don't think she's trash. She just didn't get anything to do. Like
Okay,
it was
I don't know whether
nice.
to blame James Gunn.
It was
I'm kind of stuck here.
it was
He
nice
wrote
that
and
she got to
directed it.
drop the guy from the sky. That was kind of a cool move. But the screech again, petty grievance. The screech, just like if you go back to Thor: Love and Thunder, the screech of the
The
goats.
goats.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, we get it. I don't want to hear it at full volume in the theater.
Yeah.
Just
You want to go
don't.
to Mike? Mike, you want to
Yeah,
go?
I agree with you guys. I didn't find Hawk Girl all that interesting in the movie. Like I said earlier, I thought Fillian's Lantern was excellent, and yeah, Mr. Terrific, amazing. So
Yeah, I liked Mr. Terrific. He got a lot to do. He got to be the guy who went, you know what? I'm more than just what Nathan Fillion was playing, you know, which is good. It was a cool piece. His they didn't try to over explain him. Like, one thing that gets annoying with superhero media can be when they're like, "Oh, how did you get these magic balls?" Well, see, they're made of the. You're like, I don't need it. Just
That's for the casuals,
you're
man. The
right.
casual
He
media.
let it go. Looks like, let people go look it up on YouTube. It's fine. He's just had cool technology. His fight. This is another one where you get that Gunnism. His fight where he brought Lois to that island. That was awesome. But then they did kind of the weird like music
Needle drop.
needle
You got to
yeah,
drop,
do a needle drop
and I
there.
was like,
yeah,
is this fitting? Is this really giving me like what I want in this
Yeah.
scene?
On first watch, I was so amazed with that fighting sequence. I loved it. Probably the best moment in the movie for me. But on the rewatch, and here is peak TV, I'm like, oh, this is annoying. The fuck? Like, I can't even focus on the action anymore because the needle drop is happening.
yeah. Sometimes you just want a movie scored and not a soundtrack. You don't need a pop
Thank
music
you.
soundtrack. Like I mean, obviously, I'll take a Hans Zimmer score in a movie 100% any day. So you know
I
what I
don't,
mean?
Or the composer of the other movie we'll talk about,
Hmm.
Fantastic Four.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes a soundtrack can work, but like with the Guardians, it was specifically built into the whole mix that he was that Star
The
Lord
cassette mix.
had. It
Yeah.
was very important to him. It worked really well in the movie. Everything else, I don't mind it, but it doesn't like elevate the material most of the time.
Yeah.
Unless someone's like, "Hey, we're in a club, so you got that club music," or you're at a concert, and so you have the concert music, or someone's listening to the radio, so you specifically have radio thing. Then it's like baked into the scene. Whereas this was just like, "Hey, I need a fun needle drop for when he's fighting on the island." Like,
Yeah.
so, not the best, but he had a lot of cool stuff, and it was one of the things I found pretty funny. One of my favorite jokes was he was like, "Yeah, it's very easy to fly," and he just gives Lois his like pod, and then she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And she couldn't. I just thought that was funny. I liked it.
So, and I hope in his next on-screen outing, he's fixed that garage door.
That was good too. Like the slow garage door.
Yeah.
Um, so Crypto would be your other side
Oh,
character.
must
What
we?
did we
All right,
think?
now we get to the negatives.
Yes, love crypto.
I am
Crypto
not.
and the plot. Let's go.
I'm not a big dog on screen guy. That's fine. I'm not a dog guy. I'm a cat guy. I'll admit it. But I didn't hate Crypto, and I thought the use of him at the end worked. Like that build up for what Crypto can
Quite the
do for
opposite.
Superman worked for me. I was like, okay, you built him into the story, and it worked out.
Yeah, worked for me too. I enjoyed it.
And that
Didn't work for me.
and it's not his dog though. That's the other thing I liked.
Even
Hmm.
worse.
It's
Even
Kara's
worse.
dog. and I
It's
think
worse.
that makes it work better. Like, why is this dog here? Why
Come on,
doesn't he
guys.
listen to him?
What are we
Oh,
talking about here? What are we talking about here? You guys are having a circle jerk about Crypto. Crypto to me, I had fear that the character was going to be overused when I saw the trailers. Well, the first trailer featured Crypto, right? Oh, cute. The dog from the cartoon show that became canon in comics after that because of popularity. Um, but no other rendition has ever been done before except for that CW, the HBO, the DC, the old HBO DC channel that had the Titans, and there was a
Mm.
Crypto one
Yeah.
time. Anyway, um, then saw the movie, and I was 100% right, and then some. Like Crypto, to me, took away so much of the energy of the movie at times, other than the comic humor he was doing, and particularly the last scene where he comes in to actually save Superman, and I'm like, Superman took. We'll get to the plot. Plot's my other issue right after this. Is the whole story that we're getting of Superman is two things, right? One is the belief that this guy is both Clark Kent and Superman. Like there's a dichotomy somewhere that exists, and he's battling with them, and he wants to, to be the truest person. The other part is he's a superhero. He's the most powerful superhero on this planet that cares and hopes and for good, right? So I want to say the first part of the movie with the plot, the interviews, there's scenes when he's talking with the robots about his past life, things that he likes. Like you're building to me like there is a split between him pretending to be a human and him actually being human in his mind, right, in his heart, right. The other part of the movie, which is actual the action and story device, to me, I thought failed miserably. I thought Crypto. Let's start with Crypto. I thought Crypto took away some genuine moments where you could have shown him as like being able to overpower certain things. I'm not talking Zack Snyder overpower, snap Zod's neck, but like you're exposed, and we've seen you mentally exposed, emotionally exposed. Let's see you now physically exposed, and that whole flying up to outer space and coming back down, and that was whack. The entire plot of Lex with cancel culture monkey bots, not AI, monkey bots, like the pocket universe you just created out of
I
nowhere,
did not
and no
like
one
that.
seems to care about it. They just care about the fact that he's funding a Middle East country somewhere, which will not be named, to commit genocide. Like there's so much about the actual plot. Oh, they knew that they can get his DNA from clone
Ugh.
Superman. So what was the holdup of getting into what were they searching for when they got to his home? Because they could have known about his parents. Oh my God, it's the other one. His parents sending him to have nothing but a harem and take over. They had no idea where they're going to get in that. But then they started hacking everything, and ooh, we found it. And he goes, yeah, it's we could push it out there. Everybody would believe it. Let's get the monkey bots act, dude.
I'm
The
gonna
acting
I'm
between David Corn Sweat and Rachel Brosnahan, superb. Mr. Terrific, superb. Guy Gardner, superior. Not superb. He's right below that, right?
Yeah.
Um, Even Jimmy Olsen, which we didn't talk about as a tertiary
He's
character,
not
I thought
dead.
this was
He wasn't
this was
assassinated in the desert,
this was
unnamed.
was
Well, because he
fine.
wasn't a
That's the worst
CIA
Jimmy Olsen
spy.
ever. The Zack Snyder Jimmy Olsen is the worst, even worse than the annoying one in the animated shows. Um, that one's annoying, but like it was just so much stuff that, and this didn't need to be the Justice Gang movie plus Crypto. It just needed to be what I thought at the heart of this story was the Clark and Lois dynamic, working at the Daily Planet and having these extraterrestrial threats. Perhaps a mastermind of Lex. Maybe that could have been the second movie, like how Joker was to Batman. Like you bring out the heavy in the
Mm.
second movie. They could have started with like a criminal organization that was world domination, and then done that as opposed to this whole pocket reality imprisoning, like the fact that he even had to capture Superman didn't make any sense once you realize how much power this guy really had, and and then for the third world country to build another little Middle East island like from the Superman 2 movie and Superman 3 movie in the 80s. Like, come on,
Okay.
guys.
I'm gonna.
I'm sorry.
I'm
I went on a
actually
long
going to
rant.
agree with a lot of where you're
Oh
going,
shit! I was not
in
ready for that.
in the sense that there was too much going on in the plot.
Yeah.
That the movie was carried entirely by fantastic performances and great character romance isn't the word I'm looking for. Chemistry, great
Chemistry,
character,
Mm.
chemistry.
great character chemistry. The things I liked in the plot. I actually liked this Middle Eastern war backdrop. What
Mm.
does Superman bring to this world that is going to make some people love him and some people hate him? And just being Superman isn't going to do it. I think I like that idea that Superman, it shows he's not the American hero. He's just a hero, right? And he's going to do his thing, what he thinks is right. And you have to kind of, are we going to Sokovia Accords this thing, or are we going to get behind him? So that's an interesting plot dynamic. I like that. It's kind of where I wish BVS had gone. I wish they had
Mm.
done more of that.
Yeah.
So even though I liked that background of the international problem and his handling of it, I did not like the Pocket Universe. I didn't like the spoilers, Superboy or whatever clone shit you're doing. I thought that was all unnecessary. The I did not like the canceling Superman. That's how you get the like
Dumb.
the citizens. I almost said Gotham. The citizens of the city felt very manipulatable. Like if you can like, hey, this is definitely his parents, his alien parents telling him that he should take over the world, and even though you've never seen him do anything like this, you're gonna hate him now. And they're all like,
Also,
yeah, we
it's
hate him
you don't know if
now.
it's a deep fake video or not. 'Cause
Well, and then like,
Is it any different than real life right now though?
that's true.
Honestly.
no, that's unfortunately not.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And then I've seen interviews with James Gunn saying, well, it's definitely real, and I made sure to put it several points. I'm like, okay, but like it doesn't matter. Like it feels very forced. It feels very much like, hey, I'm gonna point out the internet is sucky place right now, and
Mm.
it was yeah. I didn't think it worked very well. I thought everybody's flip flopping too hard, too fast, and then you know Superman. I don't know how does he get everybody back because Lois releases an article that says that uh, Lex did all these dirty international deals. Everybody probably already expects that, right? Do they think billionaire Lex, is a clean, you know, friendly guy? His
Yeah,
ex
they're
no,
all like Elon stands, right?
has
Oh
has
man,
no has nobody reported the disappearance of all Lex Luthor's ex girlfriends?
listen, the movie lost me where two things: the monkey bots,
Mm.
why,
I'm
It's
with you there.
funny, but
and
it's
two,
dumb. Yes.
when it comes to Lex, when the universe altering fission is happening across the goddamn city, he's like, no, not yet. We'll just move to another. I'm like, what the fuck?
And
Like
then as one guy
his
says,
hate
you
is
won't
not
have
just
any
hate
place to
anymore. It's
land
just
when the
dumb.
Earth cuts in half or something like
Yeah,
that.
like the hate that he has no longer to me is justified. He's just dumb and angry. He's a
Yeah, because
petulant boy with a lot of power and money.
that does hurt. Like if when you watch a lot of the animated stuff, Lex draws the line at hurting Earth. Like he's the guy who wants to be the hero of Earth. He wants
Not
humans
this
to be
Lex.
the hero of
Not this one.
right. And that's what I felt very weird about that. Like a little over the top at that point. And being able to turn the Earth fissures off and like have them heal. Like,
With the little joke at the end, the post credit scene.
I, so
Anyway, yeah.
I'll say that I agree. Those were
Yeah, the Fisher thing was a little weird. The monkey stuff was definitely weird. The only thing I'll say about the Pocket Universe is that because Gunn decided to bring some Snyder stuff over, he had to explain it somehow, and that's his explanation.
right.
We'll see it in the Peacemaker season 2, right? It'll be more explained more in depth.
And it's okay that some stuff was fun and goofy and all that.
Yeah.
We're just not going to connect with all of it. That's fine. It felt like a few steps too far, and you were kind of going, really? That's We couldn't simplify this a little bit, you know?
Honestly, you got to wonder how much of the monkey tweeting stuff is a jab
Hey,
of them trying to cancel him back in
that's right.
years,
It's
years ago.
to be honest, that's gonna be the meme now. Like whenever
Yeah.
anybody posts anything, you're just like put the little monkeys at the keyboard.
Man, I can see that taking a very dark, negative turn
Yeah.
to for pejorative caricatures of people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyhow,
I can. Okay. So we got like quick couple of small ones. Mom Pa Kent. It's the first time I looked at Mom Pa Kent's house and said, "These people are Midwestern poor farmers." Like they don't have beautiful giant barns and pristine yards
man,
and modern, postmodern architecture and an open, kitchen setup. They had were poor, man, and I liked it.
mm.
I liked it too. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. You like it too. Go ahead, go ahead. Don't let
That's it.
me stop you.
I
You
did.
like
I thought they were real people,
Uh-huh.
okay,
real
cool,
Midwestern
cool.
people. Yeah.
Very real, very real. So yes, very real. And if you remembered, I said that James Gunn set a pretty good tone throughout the movie with the setting of this world, the theme, music, whatever. This is a huge like thorn in my ass about these characters, the Kents, because yes, you've given me this world where it's possible that they lived in like the version of the 1960s action comics, the way that they did freaking Daily Planet, and but they're driving. They have modern vehicles and stuff. But the way the fighting and the enemies, very like the cartoon show. Now you're giving me a real world C.W. Dawson's Creek simpleton family that didn't feel like they belonged in this movie at all. And then you're supposed to tell me we can make fun about Kevin Costner or Pa Kent all day, and I'm with that. But this is supposed to be the amalgamation of Kal-El's upbringing and values and principles and personality versus the whatever he's learning from the crystal ship that he was sent to from Bradley Cooper. I'm not calling him Jor-El because that shit was whack. Um, so Bradley Cooper's philosophies and scientific basis is what we know Superman to be, and Pa Kent is what is supposed to be the other half of Superman.
Hmm.
That is like no way at all that the simpleton dad and God bless their simple soul gave us this Clark Kent that we see,
Okay, let me put it this way. Snyder's Superman
which is
it
terrible as a
is
Superman.
eh, his the people who are influencing him. He is he is put upon character. He is required. This is what they wanted him to do. This is what his dad expects of him. This is what his other dad expects of him. He has these powers. They're a burden. Like this is that character feels like the world is a burden upon him. This character feels like he decided to do this stuff. This is he feels like when he's talking to Lois, like but people were going to die. Like that's all he feels. It's very simple, but it's not something someone told him to feel. It's how he feels. So he's using his power the way he feels is right, as opposed to his powers being put upon him by not knowing what really his parents on Krypton wanted. He made assumptions and he kind of built that all up in his head and how great they were and how loving they were and how much they wanted him to help this world. When none of that was true, he did that to himself. He built that character, this Superman himself, because it's him. It's him. It's Clark. Clark is Superman in this, as opposed to his character where he has the burden of saving everybody. That's what I see as the
See,
difference.
I'm not gonna lie, outstanding point you made right there. Except for to me, no, you're dead on of the fact that his Clark Kent, the very simple-minded Clark Kent, but also even as Superman, his narrow, holistic view, not narrow,
It's fine.
contradicting
It
holistic.
is a little bit narrow, but
Yeah,
that's
I
okay.
see that. However, I don't see, and this is me using the decades and decades of knowledge I have of the Kents, all different variations of them, seeing this version as being able to raise him the way that he became, because it wasn't like Pa Kent was like a solid figure. Pa Kent seemed like he was neurodivergent, and I'm not trying to make light of actual people with disabilities, but and then Ma Kent just seemed like like Granny from Tweety's Looney Tunes, and I'm like I felt like he really simplified these characters one dimensionally when in the movie he's been setting complex 2D, maybe even 3D with Lois Lane characters, and all of a sudden this moment in this movie just felt like, what the hell is this movie?
It
Like,
was definitely more of an emotional moment
who are
than
these characters? How does it apply to him? It's supposed to be a very epic moment for the character because at the moment in the movie it's happening before we get to the third act. And to me, it just felt like, why? Like,
well, this is where the it's supposed to be the difference between what he learns about, because he asked Mr. Terrific right before this if if Lex's video was a lie, and Terrific
yeah.
says it's not. So
He says
now,
usually it's not. He says usually it's not alive. All these blah blah
right,
blah blah.
and
blah.
so now the character is supposed to be dealing with, what am I supposed to be doing? This is what I was sent here for. So I understand the break, and then obviously the very end of the movie when it replays his family, it replays the Kents rather than him going back to Krypton, and this is the things my Krypton dad said I should be doing. He went back to just like family home videos. So that's what that part, like the internet thing and the family video, I didn't and think it was great, but I see where Gunn was trying to build Superman with it. But I think you're right. He didn't build the Kents enough. They got lost in the sauce. So they were very simple, one dimensional. We're just like emotional support pizza. They're really not
No,
much more
you're
than,
right. You're right.
a
See, I was ready
flavor
for a
in the
rant,
movie.
but no, you wrapped it up pretty good.
I think it was
Exactly.
just a lack of time. And if you're gonna get into the parents deeper than that, you need origin story,
Right,
and he
and
didn't want
that's
to do an
where
origin story.
Which he didn't want to do an origin
Mhm.
story,
Right.
but then you throw this Kent moment at the dead center of the movie. I mean, I would have written it in a way. Again, I don't want to. I'm not as good. I'm not James Gunn, but near the final act, when he's at his most desperate, you do a flashback of a quick conversation that they have. Right? You don't need to give us the whole. Let me come in and
you don't you,
hold on. But
you
that
mean
whole
you mean what you
sequence.
do is you take the dead dad and you have him standing on the edge of a cliff, and you tell him
No,
about a
no, no, no.
flood,
Still
about
alive,
where it's
Dad.
okay to kill some cattle.
Still alive, Dad. To
Oh
show
no,
you
we
that
don't.
actually happened off scene, contemporary to the time, and he gives him like defend
After he saves a
yourself.
bus of children, you tell him, no, maybe you
Right. I
shouldn't have
was gonna
done that.
say, yeah, I
That's
was
the
gonna say
other
the
one.
difference. I think is if this Clark saved a bus full of kids when he was younger, and told his dad, or he told his dad the bus went into the lake, his dad would have been like, "You saved them, right?" You know,
But again,
Wait,
you
younglings.
didn't
I
let
didn't tell
them
you to kill the
die.
younglings too.
I see where you're saying. I thought they were flat in, emotionally they worked, but they are just like a flavor. They're hey, these people exist, and this is where Clark goes for emotional support. But that's all you need to know. Like that's
Yeah.
all it was. And so,
Yeah.
was it great? Was it? I would rather get more of them and take out, I don't know, monkeys and typewriters or whatever the hell you want to take out,
Jesus.
or
The whole
Yeah.
pocket universe.
the whole fight scene in the weird pixel lake could have gone for all I care. Like,
Looked like Wreck It Ralph
right,
or
yeah.
whatever that movie was.
um, Engineer. Did you guys like the Engineer? I thought the Engineer was kind of cool.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Smart, beautiful, talented actress. Terrible role.
Oh, okay. And Metamorpho and his kid. Fine. Interesting. He made a son. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean,
Okay, here's another nitpick I have real quick because you brought it up in the Pocket Universe, Metallo and his son. When Lex brought in the East Indian American actor, forgot
Oh,
the character's
wow.
name.
Yeah.
The was it a newspaper stand or
He was the guy who found him when he crashed into the thing. He just
Yes,
like gave him food once. Like I think
the
that's
Russian
like
roulette
a bodega owner or
moment
something.
yeah.
to me felt like why another moment. Why are we having this moment in a movie that isn't as dark as a Zack Snyder movie? But
Yeah, it
now all of a
was.
sudden, in this moment, because the payoff never really happens, right? Like, what's the payoff in that scene? Does Clark relinquish? Like, does he break his faith and tells? No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
Does he remember the character? Is there a moment where he pays homage to that
yes, he does
character?
at the end. He
Like
writes a
his
he writes
name
a
was freaking what's his name, Agent of Shield, and in
no.
Avengers.
At the end you see that Clark had written a it honored him in the newspaper. He wrote an article about him and his heroism.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll
But
take that. We'll take that.
I can see that scene was weird. It was overly violent. Like there was like a little kid in the row, and I'm like, oh wow, this is pretty heavy. He's gonna play Russian roulette with a regular citizen, and then he just fucking blows his head off, and I'm like looking over at the kid to see if the kid's like bawling or something.
Yo,
Like it was much. It was a bit, and again, Gunn has a thing. He can get extremely violent and extremely, silly, and he does marry them better than most people. But sometimes you're like, in the end, was that scene? What did it do for me? And I think it's supposed to tell you what Lex is capable of. But I think him stealing the dog and torturing him is pretty much well enough to tell me what Lex is capable of.
yeah, you devalue Lex. We talked about negative moment real quick. My favorite moment, other than the Lois Lane and also the Lois Lane interview, Mr. Terrific's action sequence, but also that moment when Lois and Superman are talking in the backdrop. You see the big kaiju, and then so this is what James Gunn does very well.
Hmm.
Very well. He'll film kind of like two scenes in one scene. I know there's
Yeah.
a cinematic. My cinematic nerds can correct me. There's like that moment where you're filming something in the forefront, but also something happening in the backdrop,
Right.
and your eye wants to pay attention to what's happening. Well, your ears want to pay attention to what's happening in the forefront and listen to dialogue, but your eyes is looking what's happening in the back.
So there is a technique that's similar called split Doppler, where you
Yeah.
have two things in focus, one in the foreground, one in the background. But generally, it's because like the person in the background is reacting to the person in the foreground or something like that. Whereas James
Yeah,
Gunn did this with, but he did it something similar with Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was two, but that was
you
more
did.
like everybody was fighting the big kaiju, and then Groot was dancing.
Groot was doing his own little thing. Yeah, that was Guardians too. The opening.
So that technique is also from the old school comedies like Airplane and Naked Gun,
Oh yeah, I'm
where
not saying he invented it. I'm just
where
saying he
yeah,
does this
yeah.
well.
So
Yeah,
what they do is if you have something serious in the front, you have something funny in the background,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have something serious in the background, you have something funny up
Mm-hmm.
front. So that's how they
yeah,
split it, right?
Yeah, no, it's a good
But
call.
yeah, when he was fighting, they were fighting not the kaiju, it was whatever that
Giganto.
eyeball thing
The big
was,
eyeball, yeah.
and they're sitting there talking serious, and I'm watching the background, and all of a sudden the lantern pulls out this 100-meter bat
The baseball
and is
bat.
swinging the baseball bat. I was like, yo,
So
that was
yeah.
good.
James Gunn does that really well, and that's I gotta give positive
Yeah.
to that as part of the plot.
All right.
Like he can weave in these scenes pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we go and we'll do grades, and then you guys can say either your favorite scene, your favorite line, your favorite whatever. Just something you really sticking with you about this movie. So,
I think my favorite scene
well,
will
give
probably
me
have
your
to be Mr.
grade, and then
Terrific.
give me your favorite.
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, you guys have not got me to change my grade from initial movie reaction, which should be a link to this from my not thumbnail, my review out of movie review. The grade then was a B minus. The grade now remains a B minus.
Hmm.
And I think my favorite scene, because there's not much line, dialogue, anything else, was the Mr. Terrific battle sequence. Although I didn't like the needle drop, that was well done. Yeah,
Okay, Mike.
Yeah, so I'm going to go higher. I'm going A minus on this one.
god damn.
I'm going A
Oh,
minus, and I had a lot of great favorite scenes. I think like the one towards the end when Terrific's gonna fix the fissure and he smushes the guy's head. Like I don't need no help. I don't need help, man.
Yeah, he carried the movie, man. He
Yeah, he
always
did a
made the
great
I
movie.
would
job.
not say
Yeah,
that, but
there's a lot of those moments in there that I love.
yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go with Mike here. As you know, I have given Black Widow a high B plus, and
Mm.
this is better than that movie.
Black Widow. Oof.
And I'm going A minus because even though I have some gripes about plot and things, it was so well done character wise. I can't just bring it down below that. I think the characters and the building of chemistry and relationship was so well done. And my favorite thing that has stuck with me is kindness is punk. The line has been it's like in my head,
Oh,
and I absolutely love it.
because you love punk rock.
No, I'm actually not really a big punk rock guy. I like metal more than I like punk.
All right, so we're saying.
Um,
Never mind then.
but it's like we're in a state of the world now where if you say the system loves cruelty, that means the opposite. Punk is the opposite of what the system wants. So in a
This
world
is the
where
only Superman
so
to actually call out their music taste and affinity for it.
right.
Only version of Superman.
So like if the system demands cruelty, kindness is punk because it is anti-establishment, anti-system, and I think it works really well. Maybe less so in the movie than in real world, and maybe I'm taking these two things and I'm blending them too far together, but that's why I love that line and thank you James Gunn. So, not quite a across the board, but I think we all recommend people to watch it, and we we all enjoyed ourselves and are happy that the DC universe is kicking off with style, and hopefully it's back. Creature Commandos, Superman 2025. What's next?
Peacemaker.
Clayface. Oh, Peacemaker season 2, and then
Peacemaker season
Clayface.
2, which
Yep.
I expect to be good. Clayface, it's a weird, but again,
They got a great actor, so
Yep.
let's see where it
Well,
goes.
I'm looking
perfect
forward to
casting.
seeing what he does in the live action version.
That is the perfect casting.
Yeah.
And Woman of Tomorrow. Speaking of Kara, she's
Mm.
coming back next year, I
Not
believe. The
interested.
movie
Don't care.
next year or 2027.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Yeah, I
Oh,
want
the Lantern series
the Lantern series.
next year, I think.
Well,
Honestly,
they're
if it ain't
announcing a
Matt Reeves,
lot, so
wait, what was it?
they're announcing a lot of things. So there's a lot of
Yeah,
plans.
but they're also detracting too. It changes like every
Yeah.
week, different James Gunn official announcement. But to me, if it ain't the Batman, the Matt Reeves, the Batman 2, I don't care.
Which is not part of this universe, which is gonna
It's not. So there's
which
no
is
rush
gonna
and
send
urgency.
everybody.
Yeah, so if you remember last year, and I posted this on our TikTok, that Gunn announcement video when he was kicking off the DCU. He also
Yeah.
talked about an Amanda Waller series with
Oh yeah,
Viola,
that's right.
and I haven't heard squat about that now.
Also, I think he finally said he's not doing the what's that odd superhero group?
Oh,
The Authority.
The Authority.
yeah.
Yeah, that's canceled.
Oh, is
So
it
yeah,
really?
yeah,
That was the
canceled.
next animated.
That was at Comic-Con. Yeah, Comic-Con. It was not on the list.
Mm.
So
I mean, I don't think any. Again, it's like James Gunn loves these kind of groups, and he does well with them. But like, you can't build a universe just by
he's
spamming
we're,
these
we're
groups.
gonna see. He's a talented film creator and
One
show
A, one
creator.
A, one A, one A.
And show creator because Peacemaker was pretty good. But people underestimate what Feige was able to do, man. Every day they underestimate that guy.
It's gonna be wild if we can get 2 solid years of movies. All right. Do we want to end it?
Guess we'll see. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, everybody. We'll see you later. Mike, where can people find us and respond to us and talk to us?
Still all over the internet at Heroes Peak, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell to get notifications. And leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of this new James Gunn Superman movie.
Tell me if you like the new logo. Tell me if you want a T-shirt with the new logo.
Tell us also which is your favorite version.
Oh
of
yeah,
Superman.
which color?
Favorite
I couldn't
actor.
choose, so I made 3.
And that too. That too, ladies and gentlemen. Please.
All right.
It's a wonder I
Good
can
night,
get
everybody.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Hey, Indigo made the beat.